statement on the pending legislation. I am very pleased today to bring up for consideration the amendment nature substitute to H.R. 7321, the Safe Aircraft Maintenance Standards Act, which will now be called the Global Aircraft Maintenance Safety Improvement Act. This bipartisan bill will correct the FAA administration's totally unacceptably lax oversight of aeronautical repair stations overseas that work on U.S. airline fleets. It will also improve FAA oversight of line maintenance performed on U.S. airlines fleets overseas. One level of safety. You know, for over a decade, that has been the single-minded goal of Congress and the FAA in setting aviation policy. But until domestic and FAA-certified foreign repair stations are subject to the same oversight and the same safety standards, there's no hope we can achieve one level of safety. In fact, existing safety rules make clear that there is not truly one level of safety. Under current FAA regulations, domestic repair station workers are subject to mandatory drug testing, mandatory alcohol testing. Workers at foreign repair stations are not. Domestic repair station workers are subject to comprehensive background investigations. Foreign repair workers are not. What better way to commit a terrorist act than to put in a critical faulty part, like one of those bolts that holds on the engine? They cost about $10,000 each. You can make a fake one for, $10. Looks the same. Who knows how long it might last, and then you have a catastrophic accident. We need to be certain that the supply chain and the workers are secure. Unfortunately, more and more maintenance work for U.S. air carriers is being sent overseas. There's one estimate that nearly 50% by dollar volume of maintenance work on U.S. registered aircraft is performed by foreign facilities, and the global pandemic has only exacerbated this trend as more than 8,200 aircraft maintenance jobs left the United States in just the last 2 years. I have been ringing the alarm bell about this issue for about 2 decades. And at a hearing of the committee in 1997, I predicted airlines would engage in a race to the bottom, find the cheapest maintenance labor, which would not be in the United States. Sadly, a good deal of the industry has proven my prediction correct. In fact, one employee of an airline told the Government Accountability Office in 2016 that the airline relied on 100 different foreign repair stations for maintenance work, and representatives of foreign repair stations confirmed to the GAO investigators that they offer U.S. airlines lower labor costs. If we've learned one thing in aviation over the last couple of decades, the pursuit of cheap labor is a recipe for disaster. The Department of Transportation Inspector General has also been ringing the alarm bell. 5 audit reports containing 41 recommendations since 2002 to improve FAA's dangerously weak oversight of repair stations overseas. How many more Inspector General reports will it take for the FAA to do what they should do and take a leadership role in the international community and apply strong standards to foreign repair stations? In a provision I authored, it directed the FAA in 2016, that's 6 years ago, to issue a final rule on drug and alcohol testing and take measures to require background investigations. Like with other critical safety rulemakings mandated by Congress, the FAA has failed to issue the final rule. The agency says certain employees are subject to some level of background screening. Wow, under a strange combination of existing rules. This is totally unacceptable. The bill we're marking up today will require the FAA to take decisive and specific steps to improve oversight of foreign repair stations. The language as proposed do the following. Require that all foreign repair stations be subject to at least one unannounced inspection each year. Current law requires merely one inspection without specifying whether it may be unannounced, and for the most part, they aren't, because the State Department says, oh, we'd upset people if we came in unannounced. So they get a chance to clean up all the junk, get the terrorist workers out of there and the incompetents and drunks, whoever working there, and make it look nice for one day, and then the FAA goes away. We got to put an end to that. Require air carriers to submit detailed reports to the FAA listing mechanical issues attributable to maintenance performed outside the U.S. Require supervisors and individuals who authorize aircraft for return to service hold FAA mechanic or repairman certificates. Prohibit the FAA from certificating new repair stations in countries designated by the FAA as Category 2, which indicates a lower level of safety, as well as prohibit air carriers from conducting heavy maintenance in such countries. We advise Americans not to fly on planes flown by those countries, but we're allowing our planes to go there to get fixed and then bring them back here. Prohibit FAA officials from traveling internationally, with the exception of critical travel, until the FAA has done its job. And they have complied with the 2016 mandate for final rule on drug alcohol testing and issued a final rule mandating security threat assessments of their employees. I want to thank the stakeholders for their support and tireless efforts in working toward an agreeable solution. While the bill may not include everything I would like to see, it is a giant step in the right direction. I particularly want to thank Ranking Member Sam Graves and his staff for helping us reach a resolution that will garner widespread support. I urge my colleagues strongly to support this bill. I now recognize the Ranking Member.